Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the chairman holding this hearing today, and I'd like to, as others have mentioned, thank the witnesses for traveling here to share your stories and share your experiences with the child welfare system. And I'll say again what others have said. We can all agree that one of the most meaningful aspects of our work in this committee is the opportunity to work on legislation to help more kids in the child welfare system. The changes that we're talking about today won't just impact those who've been directly involved with child protective services, but also any child, family, or individual that is in danger of entering the child welfare system. Over the years, we've reformed our programs to engage with families before children need to be removed from their homes, and we all know that leads to much better outcomes all around. Certainly, every child deserves a safe and loving home, and here on this committee, we have an opportunity to advance legislation that can help make this a reality for more children. Mrs. Peterson, I want to talk briefly about a bill that I've introduced. We know that kinship care providers play an essential role in caring for children, and they do so many times without access to resources that they wish they had. The bill that I've introduced that hopefully gets included in a package we do here, the Empowering Kinship Caregivers and Youth Act, clarifies that kinship caregivers are eligible for services under Title 4B. And I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about that. I know you've had access to services and supports and maybe supports that you didn't receive, and just talk about the importance of kinship care being eligible for coverage.
Yeah, that bill sounds like a very important one. Thank you for working on that. Our family has never received any resources or assistance from the government for the kinship care that we provide. When my siblings started living with us, we tried to reach out to Human Services to officially become kinship caregivers and get access to those resources, but we weren't considered a priority because they knew my sibling was safe and already living with us. We never received a response, a court date, not a paper to sign. And our other options would be to hire a lawyer to serve papers, get their attention, but I wasn't willing to give Human Services any more of my time because I gave them enough of that as a youth. My husband and I were in our mid-20s when we took in my sibling, still very much establishing our lives, and it wasn't easy, especially in the beginning, but we knew we'd make it work like many kinship care providers do, no matter what. My sibling did graduate high school this year and will be headed to college in the fall. And the greatest injustice to us not receiving those services from the county and being ignored is that it was actually to my sibling. Because though she's lived with us for years now, if the county would have documented her in our care the way they should have, she would be receiving financial assistance with college. But because we were ignored, my sibling does not qualify for the financial help that she should be receiving for college. And we didn't realize that would be a consequence that she would face when we didn't put up a fight.
Thank you. I want to go to one additional question for Mr. Geen. I've heard, and I want to get your thoughts on this, certainly we want accountability for child welfare agencies in our communities and states, but I've also heard the paperwork, the federal reporting requirements are burdensome, they're tedious, and I've introduced another bill which would call for an evaluation of the requirements and reporting for the Title 4B dollars with a goal of reducing that burden by at least 15%. If we were successful, first, do you agree that that's an issue? And then if we were successful in reducing paperwork by that amount, how could they use that time to better support the individuals in our communities?
So the administrative burden you talk about is a theme that we heard a lot of during our landscape assessment. And that burden not only affects workers' ability to spend time with families, it affects their morale and the likelihood of them turning over. But the biggest complaint we heard about the administrative burden is that it's largely unrelated to accountability. So much of what we collect are process measures that feel like checking boxes rather than truly holding agencies accountable for outcomes. So there certainly seems like there is an opportunity to both reduce administrative burden and focus on accountability more, recognizing that our data systems right now don't do a good job of always tracking the outcomes that we experience.
Thank you for that answer. I hope we can take this opportunity to streamline that and ensure that the accountability still exists, but we can eliminate some of those tedious requirements. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.